following program on Ada Derana 24 is classified for general audience. It is intended for all ages. It contains little or no violence, no strong language, and little or no sexual dialogue or situations.
Hello and welcome to Business Best, a program that we have brought for you to be inspired from, because the stories that we say here in this program could be unique, and their experiences, the entrepreneurs that we meet here, the business leaders that we meet here, their experiences in the business world and also in their personal lives could potentially shape up your entrepreneurial journey as well. Now we have with us one such individual who have started up a not so conventional business, I would say, and has deemed a lot of success out of it. We're here with Miss Bhagya Sandakelum, the CEO and the founder of BlueFish Ceylon. Hello, Bhagya.
Hello, hi. First of all, thank you for having me here today.
No worries at all. Now, BlueFish Ceylon, like I mentioned earlier, it's not exactly a nuance or a heard of sort of a business. But before we get into that, who is Bhagya? What really drives Bhagya, and how did she become an entrepreneur?
I would say like I'm just a normal human being. I'm a mom, I'm a wife. I'm a person who comes from a very rural area, but currently living here. Since I'm doing this business, but I'm not from a person who comes from a food science or a business background. I studied town and country planning. I did my master's in regional development. But I had this passion about cooking. I'm a person who had my own twist to the recipes and let the people try it and get the feedbacks. I'm that person. So that passionate of mine has driven me into here to start the BlueFish.
That's what they say, you know, a business could potentially be the reflection or a mirror of its own. And I feel like BlueFish Ceylon is exactly what Bhagya stands for. So what does BlueFish Ceylon stand for, and what is this business about?
At BlueFish Ceylon, we provide ready-to-eat, healthy, full of flavors fish products with its own authentic, unique taste and flavors by combining with high-quality Sri Lankan spices. And we provide premium quality fish products to the customers, and all our products are free from preservatives and added flavors. That's what we do.
That's what BlueFish Ceylon is all about. Now, from your perspective, how did your entrepreneurial journey start? Did you wake up one day and be like, okay, I have this amazing and crazy idea to start up a business, I'm going to do it, or how did it come about?
The BlueFish, we have started actually BlueFish during the COVID period, but the story inspired me to start the BlueFish. It goes back to 6 to 7 years back. So during that period, after my pregnancy, I was overweight. I was struggled to lose weight. But with the proper diet and the workout, I managed to lose more than 30 kilos. But at that period, I was working. Since last year, I have been full-time working in the government sector. So my son was attended to nursery, and I was working in Colombo, but live a bit far away from the Colombo. So with all the struggle, with all the hassles, the main struggle which I faced during that time was preparing my meal as my diet plan and finding the ready-to-eat when it comes to preparing meals. Finding the ready-to-eat healthy protein source was the main struggle during that time. There was no ready-to-eat healthy protein source available in the market. So and I was so passionate about cooking and healthy food. With my passion about that, I have started Fit In Box, not the BlueFish Ceylon. The beginning of my entrepreneurship journey is Fit In Box. So I have started a small healthy meal delivery system. So we had few customers, but during the COVID period, I had to stop it. I hope you have remembered the period where the fish was very cheap during the COVID period.
Yes.
So one time we brought quite a lot of fish. We didn't know what to do with it. So I found a way to make, we call it salmon at home. But as usual, I told you, right, I'm a person who added my own twist to the recipes. So I added my own twist. It came out really well. So then I thought, the first thing came into my mind is that it's a healthy protein source and it's ready to eat, not like the one available in the market. So I thought, why not selling it? So I took few pictures of the product and posted into few social media groups, and I had already, I had the containers which I brought for the fit-in box. So there's this product and there's this customers. So I had the customers through the, I got the customers from those posts. So then they start recommending it. So then it's the beginning of that's how it came to me.
Amazing. I love how you wanted to achieve a goal for yourself, and while doing so, you were able to find out or find this new avenue of business. Now, there was a business that you initially started with. Oh, well, it didn't work out. But I like how you went with a can-do attitude. You know what? This looks like an opportunity. I'm going to seize it. Amazing. Now, let's talk a bit more about BlueFish Ceylon. Now, you mentioned it is about a good protein source that people can have, and it is also ready to eat. Now, ready to eat concept has been in Sri Lanka before, but not specifically onto fish. So let's talk about it. What sort of products do you offer in that range, or what sort of new things, like you mentioned, the twists that you have brought forward in this business?
We are an island, but we don't have this fish food cultures. When it comes to fish, we know the tin fish, and we know the jadi, we know the ambultial, but nothing else.
Yes.
So when I have added that twist, so I realized there's much more thing we can do with the fish. So I have introduced few products adding high quality Sri Lankan spices. So we have spicy tuna chunks in olive oil. It's tuna chunks with a twist of Scotch bonnet chilies, and the tomato comes in olive oil olive oil base, and there's this mackerel chunks with healthy ingredients and with natural ingredients. That means it's kind of similar to the tin fish available in the market, but as you know, the tin fish just comes with salt and water.
Yeah.
But we are adding healthy ingredients to it. So it doesn't have that pungent smell like normal salmon tin, and it has this authentic taste by adding the Sri Lankan spices. So we are not just selling a product, we are giving them the experience.
You're giving the local, authentic Sri Lankan experience in every bite. Now, as a person, I'm not really fond of fish, but the way how you describe that this comes with a lot of healthy ingredients, with, you know, olive oil bases and all this, it actually makes a person who doesn't like fish seem to want to try this. So I feel like not only has your business or this concept garnered different sorts of attractions to it, but I think the way you present it also sorts of built in, like, given the fact that you are a person who tried it first, realized it works, and then decided to put forward, that brings a more sense of trust for any customer. Now, you started the business off as an answer to one of your challenges. You said you wanted to lose weight, you wanted a protein source, you founded your business. Accidentally? Oh well, it worked out. But coming up with your own business as a result of a challenge you had brings in more challenges. Now, as an entrepreneur, as a mom, as a person who have made sure that business has survived for so long, what sort of challenges has you and your business have gone through in the past, and how have you navigated yourself through it?
I have actually got an uncountable list of challenges which we are facing daily. So I will try to explain few main things.
Definitely.
At the beginning, initially, so I was actually working. So I was juggling between my duties, my responsibilities, and my passion. So I was the one who's doing everything by my own. So at that period, the main issue which I have faced when it comes to preservation of meat and fish, there's the technology is a bit complex. So and at the same time, I was doing it in my kitchen, my own kitchen, and at my home. So I had to find a way to preserve it at home, but it has to be something. I have to assure the quality of it.
Definitely.
So I remember the time I contact industrial expert regarding this matter. So at that time he mentioned about a technology which I can use, but it was actually a dream for me at that period. So then I trust my gut, and then I take the leap of faith and invest the money on actually laboratory equipment, not equipment which used for the food production. So, but that leap of faith helped me to preserve the fish. With using that machine for 3 years of periods, we have been doing the business in the market without any issues. So that is the main issue which I faced during that time. But after that, we are a business who start through the COVID. So we went through the COVID, and there's economic crisis and everyday challenges
that came about, but you faced them and you have gone through them. Now, when it comes to the FMCG sector, especially when it comes to specific items like you said, perishables, it's quite a challenge. And the Sri Lankan audience, the Sri Lankan customer base, now since you bring in a lot of authenticity into your product, could be a little bit critical about things, specifically onto the moms, the aunties who will be definitely using your product, ones who are quite, because we have this concept in Sri Lanka that everything has to be freshly made. Because if it comes out of a bottle or a tin can, it's not exactly up to our moms or our aunties' standards. How have you battled that? Now, as a person who loves cooking yourself, how have you sort of ensured that the cooking generation of Sri Lanka really accepts your product?
I believe when acquiring a customers, I actually believe the main core of our product is providing a good quality product to the customers, so that our product starts speaking on behalf of us.
Definitely.
So though the people do not trust about the preservation of the food, once they try it out, once they know the story behind it, they start trusting it. Not only they become our recurring customers, they become the ambassadors of our product. So I call my customers, the beginning of the period, I call my customers angel customers. I do have actually angel customers, because they are the one who tell us, okay, you can do this, you can do that. There's this opportunity, why not you try it out? And even some of the recipes which I came across was from them. Like recipes in the sense, the product development. They're the one who suggests, okay, why not you do this? Why not you do this? Like, there has been a culture of fish from the beginning, but eventually it has been nowhere to be found. Like a few customers has mentioned, like I remember my grandma used to make kind of similar kind of a thing using this hurulla and things, but it has been nowhere to be found.
Yes.
So like customers are suggesting me the things, and at the same time we always make sure to showcase how we are making the products, the quality behind it, the story behind it, what are the value propositions we are adding to our product. So we build the trust with the customers. So with that, it help us to came across this food culture and these preservations and all the issues with the customers which they have in their mind.
Definitely. So you have not only ensured that your customers trust your product, you also said once they try, they've tested out, they advocate for your product. And a nice thing that you mentioned is the fact that you have also taken into account the thoughts that your customers brought forward. End of the day, it's for us to hit the nail on the correct point of what the customer needs. And the best way to do that is actually to understand what your customer really needs and implement that in your product. Now, there's so much more to discuss with regards to your business and, of course, the journey that Bhagya has had as an entrepreneur, but we're going to do that right after this short break. This is Mr. Best. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We are currently in conversation with the co-founder and CEO of BlueFish Ceylon, Miss Bhagya. Now, Bhagya, you mentioned that your product, your business, takes pride in its nutritiousness its Sri Lankanness, and of course its uniqueness when it comes to freshness. Now, for a product as such, I'm quite curious, how exactly does it come to be? What does it look like to manufacture such a product? And most importantly, since you are a person who love cooking and love, in your own words, adding twists to things, what really differentiates products created by BlueFish Ceylon in comparison to things that are already existent in the market?
When it comes to the competitors, we actually do have indirect competitors. So compared to those competitors, we stand in front of by providing a ready-to-eat, convenient fish products where you can have it as it is in anywhere. And at the same time, we combine our product with the high quality Sri Lankan spices by giving it an authentic, unique taste and flavors. So as I mentioned earlier, it's not only a product, it's give you the experience. And especially the sustainability is at our heart of what we do. From sourcing our products, because all our fish products are sustainability sourced, and from reducing the wastage of our packaging, because our packaging is FSC certified, the inks what we use are environment friendly, the materials what we use for our packaging is environment friendly. From beginning to end, we make sure all the activities what we do is we trying to reduce the environment footprint while ensuring the sustainability. So with all those things, we are trying to provide a premium product with ethically sourced, ethically produced premium product to the customers.
So the product that is good for you and for your
yes.
environment. Amazing. It's such a wholesome product, I feel like. And now when it comes to, let's talk about growth. All businesses, end of the day, you create a business to gain a return. That is what you dream of as an entrepreneur. How has the journey been for your business? Now, we need to talk about your entrepreneurship and the challenges you faced as well. But before that, let's talk about where your business started and how it has been growing so far and future prospects you might have for your business.
We have actually started a very small. I have started my business by spending 300 rupees for 1 kilo of fish.
No, okay.
So, in my kitchen. So at the beginning, we have do it in my kitchen, and we have introduced the jar products. All the products which we introduce comes in a jar. But with the time, and there's been after the COVID period, there has been many entrepreneurship, female entrepreneurship development programs, incubation program. So I have been able to participate with the programs. With the help of that programs, I managed to have my own separate room. I have managed to allocate a separate room for my production. But with the expansion of the business, with the help of the customers, with the trust of the customers, we have been within the last November, 3 months ago, we have been able to move into our own factory location with all the equipments. So, and now we are working on getting the ISO and GMP certification.
And I think that is authentic business growth. I mean, from a business that actually started in your kitchen during COVID to being able to move to a new production facility in November, that is true business growth. Now, as an entrepreneur, you must be quite happy about the success that your business has. So let's talk about your journey as an entrepreneur, Bhagya. From where you started, now we of course got a little bit of insight onto how this idea came to be and why you started it. As an entrepreneur, as a female entrepreneur, going against the social stigma that has, of course, thankfully diminished a lot in this society, how has it been like for you to be an entrepreneur in this day and age?
It's not that easy to say. Because I told you, right, I'm not a person who comes from a business background or someone who comes from a food science or anything. I know nothing about the business actually, and I'm not a number person. So it was just me doing the product. I had a good product, so I had a customers who I call my angel customers, who trust the brand, who trust the product. So initially, that's how I've been doing. And not only that, as I mentioned, I have born in a very rural village. it was a bit, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's the passion that drives us, right? It's quite refreshing to see the passion, like right at your eyes. I can like see, you know, the drive that you have to ensure that, you know, your business is quite successful, and that, like you said, you come from humble beginnings, and to achieve what you have achieved is not an easy feat, and you have been able to do that. And I think your family specifically and the ones around you and your customers, your angel customers, must be very, very proud of it. Now, the reason as to why I asked that question was there's a lot of people in our audience who are just like you, who have ideas that they might have a slight level of doubt to pursue. And we even started off this program to help them break through that barrier, for them to understand that everything is possible, no matter where you come from, what you stand for. If your business is something that you can be credible for, a business that you can place your individual trust in, it's likely to succeed. That's why I asked you the question. I'm so sorry if I made you uncomfortable.
No, it's okay. Not uncomfortable. I'm kind of became sensitive because I'm
it's an emotional question. I feel like
yes, because I know the struggle and the journey. I mean, it's not easy to describe it by words.
Words, definitely.
Because there have been a lot of things I have gone through. Like my family doesn't know about my business. They got to know about this business after 4 years after I have moved into my factory location.
Amazing.
Because they have this traditional mindset of thinking like, okay, if a woman, because I work for the government sector, I had a good position. So I resigned year ago.
Oh.
So I was kind of avoiding the drama by telling them like I got resigned.
Definitely.
So soon after I move into my factory locations, I taken them for a visit and show them, okay, this is what I do right now.
That's easier, no? This is what I achieved.
This is what I do right now, rather telling me, okay, I got resigned, I do this and that. So it's been quite a journey.
It has been a journey.
It's been
a wholesome
journey.
experience, I feel like. So that's what differentiates the women entrepreneurs, the female entrepreneurs. And it's quite sad sometimes to say that we have a social stigma against us. But then again, we always persevere to break the barriers, because end of the day, it's an idea that comes into life. And if you as a person is strong enough to go by it against all odds, and then make sure that it happens, that's what really matters. And then to see that Sri Lanka is having a lot of, like you mentioned, incubator programs, mentorship programs, workshops, specifically catered to females, to female leaders, female entrepreneurs in Sri Lanka, really helps them get that push. Now, I think you are a true testament to female power, and for a person who's able to break through that barrier. Now, as a person who've gone through all of that, now, your passion, we all saw how you came about that, and your product is quite successful. A product that not a lot of people would have thought of. Yeah. And the fact that you have tried it, tested it by yourself to prove its authenticity, makes the product much more closer to its customers' hearts. If a person like you, who's watching you right now, be it male or female, be it a budding entrepreneur, a business leader who is about, okay, do I quit my job? Do I pursue my passion? Can I manage it? Can I manage the pressure that I might have from my peers, my parents? What sort of message would you have? What maybe your words could just be the correct amount of push that they need to break through. What would you say?
For a person who wanted to start a business, because I have met many people, like, they have waiting to have the right thing, like to have everything in perfect. But without making something, they're waiting until they figure it out everything. So my advice, don't wait until you figure it out everything by yourself. So if you have a concept, if you have an idea, do a prototype, like make a sample, give your friends, your family to try it out, get their feedback, and then think about the branding and logo. When I have started my business, it may be different from those marketing and branding concepts, but when I have started my business, it was just the product and the customers. I have created a logo, a brand name, and a label, I think after 6 months. At the beginning, it was just the product and the customers, but the product which I have provided was a good quality product. So customers are believe in the product. So let the product start speaking on behalf of you, not the brand or not the label, not the logo. So most of the people, I have a few people have been spoken to me. They are trying to build a brand but not the product. So my advice is build a good product. Then think about the branding and think about the designing.
There on after.
There on after, yes.
Because at the end of the day, it's the product that goes to your consumer's hands. And I like how you said, let your product speak for the business. Let it do all the talking. Let it prove the authenticity and the quality of your product. Now, thank you so much, Bhagya, for coming on to the show. I think we went through a full round trip of how you've come to the spot you are and really explore the credibility of your product. So thank you so much, and we wish you all the best and all the success that you could definitely achieve, not just for you, but of course for your business as well. Thank you so much for joining in.
Thank you so much for having me.
No worries at all. Now, that was Miss Bhagya Sandakelum, the CEO and founder of BlueFish Ceylon, a concept like no other, something that we Sri Lankans might not have thought of, but she has been able to successfully implement it, and she's currently reaping the benefits. Now, you could be the next Bhagya. You could be the person with a crazy idea that not a lot of people might think is possible. You could go ahead and implement it, if you just take that one step forward. We sincerely hope that today's discussion would have definitely inspired you to start something in your own or face up that challenge that you have been dreading this whole time. Now, to be more inspired, and if you want to see more success stories of business entrepreneurs and of course business leaders, you can go ahead and check our previous episodes of Business Best. All you have to do is go in through youtube.com/Derana English and check out all of our episodes, including this one. Now, we'll see you next time with another success story. Till then, bye-bye.